So after this, the session is open for question and answers and comments and compliments. You can ask the questions directly to our speakers. Ashok sir is there, Edmund Yang is there. So the session is open. It was marathon sessions running into few big hours, but yes, please interact now. You can interact and directly. Satish, can you let anyone, everyone?
Now I have opened the session for everyone. Now you can unmute yourself. If there is any question, you can ask our speakers right now. If you want to make any comment, or this session is just for that. Any questions, feedback, comment, anything.
Ashok sir, is there any questions? Because we missed the question
Yeah.
answer session with Ashok sir. Please put in.
Yeah, Ashok sir is there. You can ask questions from him.
Okay, I'll read out the comments. Astounding, sir. Companies who have F&D and R&D can plan well. What about the companies that solely depend on third-party manufacturers? This is a question by Mr. Manoj Kumar Yadav.
Yeah, that's a very, very interesting question. And today, especially if you go to places like Pandi, the top companies have their own Q&A people stationed there. And even the manufacture for big companies, even though done in places like Pandi or Sikkim or Uttarakhand, they are under the supervision of someone from the corporate office, someone very, very important officer from the Q&A. And especially when the multinationals, they get their products manufactured, they are very, very stringent. So rest assured, at least when doctors prescribe branded products, even if it is made in Pandi or Uttarakhand, you are assured of quality. Somewhere in between, one of the patients said, why are the doctors not prescribing 1 mg medicines? Perhaps this is a point which we need to ask. See, if you look at the drug controllers, if you look at the quality of the medicines produced by many pharmaceutical companies, very few have WHO GMP approval. If I draw an analogy, like when you appear for an exam, 35% are the passing marks, 60% is first class, 90% becomes distinction. So when a company has Schedule M, it is equivalent to the 35. When a company has a WHO approval, it is equivalent to getting a first class. But when it has a UK MHRA or a US FDA approval, it is distinctions or something above. Now, if you are a recruiter of a company, will you take somebody with 35% marks, or will you like to go for somebody with a first class or distinction? That is exactly the analogy in response to the question which was raised by Mr. Deepak during the patient interview.
Yeah. The third-party manufacturing, what you have been mentioning, this practice has been there even 30 years back. I was in Höchst, Russell, Marion Russell. So we used to manufacture Combiflam in Calcutta. And our representative from factory used to be there, as is rightly mentioned by the sir. But my issue is, we are talking of generics today, but we used to talk as a pharmacist that there is the issue of chemical equivalence and therapeutic equivalence. Because we used to say that a chemical is not a drug. And as we all know, that when the chemical enters into the factory, it passes through various stages, right from the disintegration phase to binding agent and so on. And I was given to understand at that time, there are almost more than 52 steps for manufacturing from a chemical to a tablet. So my question now to Sri Ashok Bhattacharya also, when he talked about these generic companies, I would like to know what is the guarantee of quality, because as I mentioned, or I would request you to throw issues on this subject, the chemical equivalence and the therapeutic equivalence.
I would like to answer your question a little differently. There was a slide which a small short which was put in by Dr. Mujahid sir, and one of the questions with the founder member of that company, the founder of the company, SK Pharmaceuticals, he asked, would you give your medicine manufactured in a company to your child or to your father or to your mother?
Yes.
That itself is a beautiful, example of how quality can be measured. The owner of the company, when his son is sick and when he's on his deathbed, will he give him a medicine from his own company, or he'll run to Russell, or will he run to Hex, or will he run to Sanofi, or will he run to MSD, or run to Torrent or Sun Pharma?
Ashok sir, your voice, your response to it.
See, I would like to mention there is a difference in quality from the originator or the innovator drug to the generic copy drug which is there. The sole reason is the manufacturing process. And as you mentioned that when you were a pharmacist and you were working, you were told that you go through some 35 steps. Maybe the innovator company goes through 70 steps. Who knows about it? The second thing is, in a drug, excipients form the major part of it. So you look at what is the quality of excipients that you are using. What is, for a tablet, for example, how is the granulation done? What is the pressure exerted to compress the tablet? All these lead to the efficacy of the drug as such. You being a pharmacist will know more than me about it. These are the technologies which get into. And the innovator molecule can be copied through reverse technology, but the manufacturing process cannot be copied until and unless it's licensed out.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
that's the response.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Suman, please.
Yes, this is Deepak Munkur here. Can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Vivek, the point that you mentioned, okay, how do we know that the doctor who has prescribed the medicine has actually prescribed the one which is USA FDA approved or WHO approved or a 35% mark approved?
What a question. Here is the opportunity for the pharma company. Look, what is the question?
You're talking. My phone is on. Everyone can hear what you're talking.
Perfect question, sir. And pharma companies, if you professionals are listening, the question is, how do I get to know that the prescribed medicine is of the actual standard?
That is where the trust between a company and a doctor and a patient. It all depends upon the trust. Have the pharma companies done anything to build in that trust? If they have not been able to build in that trust, then probably Deepak's question will remain a perpetual question. That trust has to be built. When a doctor prescribes a medicine, say from Torrent Pharma or from Sun Pharma or Lupin, he is assured that it's of a good quality. But when it prescribes a drug, say from Vivek Pharmaceuticals or Veena Pharmaceuticals, that's a big question mark.
No, but if you have an alternate medicine from a leading pharmaceutical company, suppose it's from either Dr. Reddy's or another alternative from, say, Lupin, which is 30% cheaper, what is the harm in going in for the Lupin brand?
No, definitely no. That's the thing. If it's from a good standard company, there's absolutely nothing wrong. Definitely no.
Ashok sir, you're muted.
Swati, can I speak something here?
Sure, Melon. Sure.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I would say,
you know,
can I
there
give
is
a
no
comment to
harm
this question?
in,
Go ahead, Ashok.
in
I'll hold it.
prescribing other lower price drug as such. Look into the prescription behavior of the clinicians. For example, an oncologist in severe conditions will not take a chance with a generic product. The oncologist will always try and go for the original molecule because he's dealing with a very, very severe condition. So the choice of a physician depends, the prescribing habit of a physician depends on the patient. At what level or what stage the patient is, the doctor looks at the economic background of the patient. The doctor looks at the severity of the disease of the patient. This is the decision tree which a clinician follows and then decides on whether to prescribe the original molecule or to give a generic drug. The doctor, the clinician knows about the difference in efficacy from the originator drug compared to the generic drug. Time and again it has been demonstrated with one drug in India which is co-amoxicillin. The difference between Augmentin and with the generics of co-amoxicillin. Doctors have seen a clear difference. It has been from many other, the generics have been from many other reputed Indian companies. But the doctor has seen, with giving Augmentin, when the doctor gets a response within 48 hours, it takes almost 96 hours with the generic. So the doctor decides on. But the doctor, and now that with the drug price control order and the ceiling prices and other things coming, it has almost become equal. Other than the patented drugs, look at most of the drugs are at equal prices. But still, the doctor now has got a choice of prescribing the innovator drug rather than the copy drug.
Right.
Yeah, if I add something more, if I can say here, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now, I would say two things. Is that we have spoken earlier that generic company and pharma company. Now, though I come from big pharma all my life, I would say to you, we have to be proud that big Indian pharmas are controlling or dominating also US reimbursed market. Exports are huge. So when we develop a trust, when we say that if our companies have good quality bioequivalent data, scientific proven data, then you can compete. But going to what Ashok said, I agree. The doctor looks at what is the situation of a patient and which product you want to try. Okay. So I would say to you is that it is not that always doctor want to rely on an innovator. Yes, definitely want to rely, but as soon as a patient is an economical and he cannot afford, then doctor want to try a reliable drug, not want to go a cheaper price. Doctor need to develop a trust. What I would tell to my sales and marketing friends, okay, I also started as a rep, which most people don't know. 2.5 years I was rep before I went into my finance post-graduation. Okay. When I would say that work on the situation, and which I tell always my reps in the company, that you should be such that you are bringing a knowledge to a doctor. If you are going to a GP, he's got so many therapeutic area and he's not enhancing his knowledge. Doctor should be looking, a rep comes in, he's my knowledge and guy who's bringing me knowledge. And that's why doctor should be looking at it. Take the analogy that when we buy a new gadget, you buy a new iPhone model. That time you are listening to the most junior most person who is selling that phone at a counter to learn how to use it, correct? You ignore who are you. You are a chairman or you're managing director or a president or you are a sales director. You forget all, but you are keen to learn from this guy. We need to be the same way that our reps or sales managers, guys, you need to know your disease area solid. You need to know your product solid. And your product has to be a science base. If you have, whether you are an innovator or you are a very strong bioequivalent company. And where I would say one thing is that there are the many small companies are coming with very good technology. In my new life of last 2 years, we are working with some very high-tech biotech companies from USA. They're coming with very enhanced molecules than the big pharmas. Okay, so those things we'll have to give doctors to try, free try for 1 year, 6 months, try it. They develop the confidence on the drug in a patient. When it works, the confidence, and doctor will trust you. That's my comment.
Yeah, I agree with you, Miller. One thing is that the Indian manufacturers are dominating the global market in terms of generic drugs. The only thing which we need to keep in mind is that these drugs which are exported to US or Europe or to Japan, whatever it is, they go by the quality guidelines of those countries, and their manufacturing is different from the product quality which they give in the domestic market. So they're different, and that is why during my presentation I mentioned a patient in US or Japan or Delhi or Raebareli is a patient. All are human beings. All deserve the same quality. You cannot vary in the quality. Okay, Raebareli ka patient hai, I give him whatever quality. And to the US patient, oh no, he's a US, so I gave a better quality.
Fully agree with you, Ashok.
That's one thing.
Fully
The
agree.
second thing is, I totally agree that, any generic company also are innovators. There is no restriction on the mind to think innovatively. They may not be innovative in new chemical entities, but a generic company can come out with newer strategies, with newer drug delivery systems, with everything. Nobody is putting an embargo on the thinking of innovation and becoming an innovator company, not with new chemical entity, but with different strategies and offering value to the patient.
Absolutely.
So nobody is putting an embargo on that. And that's the right of every individual and every pharma company that's operating.
Look,
That's my
Ashok,
view.
I would say something in a parallel, different industry, if we talk about. Till few years back, where Tesla was not existing even, different industry, automobile. The world was dominated by the General Motors of the world and Volvos and VWs, okay. Now, if you look at Tesla is a number one market cap company. When the guy came with his idea, people thought he doesn't understand about a car, okay. So I would tell you very frankly, in case of in healthcare also, let us see that we will see a shift coming in. But we'll have to get ready for that shift. We'll have to get ready for the shift. I would say to you is that to the guys in the group, sales and marketing guys, look, for the industry, pharma industry in India has to invest into the drug development, which is the clear focus should be. And the companies in India has to say, if you cannot develop, do open mind to in-license. Just not do reverse chemical engineering. Because if you see, we see here in the market, when tenders are bid, Indian companies are bidding only on the low price. But when doctors are being received a product, they'll say, oh, Indian company low price, then only I'll take it. So how do you demand a higher price? Okay, we need to get to that, and that where we'll come in when we get into the development and science-based selling.
Perfect.
But I couldn't hold myself. I was listening. Then I thought I should also jump in. Swati, thank you for letting me jump in back.
Yeah, always welcome.
Now this is the open forum and everybody can join in now.
I was listening for some time and then I got tempted listening to Vivek, to you and Ashok, and I said, this is close to my heart, that how do we give back to our Indian companies also can compete more aggressively, because I would say that I saw in my past life in Novartis during my regional roles, but now in the new cap, when we see the tender bidding and pricing, okay, we see that they try to just fight on the price, and then the tender sometimes get rejected. Oh, Indian company, keep it away. Okay, so I would say to you is that we have to see that how we help that way also change the image, correct? Yeah.
Now we would also like Sunil Attawar sir to say something, because
we need
Sunil
to think
Attawar
the
sir.
Apple way. We need to think the Apple way.
Yes.
Does the Apple iPad, do they give a discount, or an iPhone, will it give a discount? No, it's a value for money. that they describe and give. So I think that's a mindset. It is like what is the current behavior of the industry and what is the desired behavior of the industry. And that shift is something which will take place. And I think the COVID has already prompted and initiated the journey within the industry.
Right, sir.
I would like Sunil Latawar to comment on this, because he runs a dental company, but his dental company maintains the same standards as any top pharmaceutical company. I have personally seen this factory, and that is why I'm commenting. And I'd like Sunil Latawar to say a few things on this.
So I'm hearing and learning. I think that's more important. But the points that are being made are so relevant, and I think I'll go back to the morning session of Jill, where she said, I think every company ultimately has to have a purpose. Why are you there? Why do you exist? Why are you doing what you're doing? We took a call pretty early I would say not very early, but somewhere in the middle in our journey, when we suffered very badly, we made a lot of mistakes. We were almost on the verge of closure, and then we came back very strong. And that time we took some decisions that we will what we call only bring in the best products. As we've said, we've heard that in licensing, I have 7 in licensing agreements. I went all over the world to bring best technologies to India and innovated, and now we use that, we export to 60 countries. So it's all about I think deciding what you want to do. There are very good examples in India, as Sir said, that innovation is not only about NCEs. If you look at a company like Troika, which is a great inspiration to many of us, they've innovated on formulations and done outstanding work. There are so many other examples of companies who find innovation. Everyone can't be the big top 5 and top 10. Doesn't mean you can't do what you want to do in a better way. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. It's all about your own own call. Everyone should not. Yes, there is an Apple. We all are highly inspired by them, but everyone can't be that. We need so many things to do that. But doesn't mean you cannot have your own. You cannot be the apple in your garden kind of thing. Be very kind. Do the best in what you are doing. And I think companies are learning. As I said, I believe strongly that COVID is the Y2K moment for us. Just to give you one statistics, in the last, it's not based on any formal analysis, but we visit a lot of pharmacy colleges. In the last 10 years, I think most of the pharmacy colleges had vacant seats. Every year they would complain that, except the top 5-6 colleges in India, every other pharmacy college would complain that they were not getting seats. This year, for the first time, all pharmacy seats are full, including D Pharm, M Pharm, Pharm B, every other what you call stream, the admissions are full. So the importance of the pharmaceutical industry has suddenly taken a lot of gone to a different tangent, and I think this is that moment for us that we should grab and do good work. And today's session, right through and through, I think has opened up my eyes a lot. I think opened up the eyes of many of our young students who are listening, and actually take it up and use it very effectively in the coming days,
including older people like me.
All of us. But Sunil, another thing which has come up in 2020 until 21 quarter. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
If you look at the investment, how much investment has gone into the pharma and healthcare space worldwide because of people has eyes open up. There's a big shift has gone into the lot of investment. Okay, and this is what we are seeing. In fact, okay, it is happening. So I would say this is a great opportunity for Indian pharma company, is to say how do they capitalize to shift that from a branded generic mindset to the NME, and investment will come a lot. There's a lot of money in the world. Surplus money is in the world. You need to have a good project. Money is ample available in the world. Only we need to have right project and we can get the investment.
Yeah, there is, we've
Yeah.
seen lots of things happening here.
There is, in fact, if you look at the FICCI EY report, there is large amount of foreign direct investment coming in the country for healthcare, and that's a great expectation, and hope that the Indian pharma will really be a challenger in the global level. It's a question, Sunil, as you rightly mentioned, it's a question of the mindset of the organization. Whether I want to get into R&D and research into molecules, or I want to serve the patients in a different way and add value to the molecule which is already existing, and can I serve the patient? So two different mindsets of organization, and both are right. Both are right. Maybe the second one may get into the profits and plow it back and one day become an R&D organization. So it all depends. Like what happened in the case of Zydus, for example. It has got a mindset of commercialization and of drug discovery. They're into the vaccines, they're into this. You look at another large company, Sun Pharma, they're only into this. They're not into the R&D part of it. But they are an innovator company in terms of drug delivery, in terms of packaging, in terms of strategy, how to market the drug, how to make a drug available to the patient. They are clear in their mindset and focus. So these are two, and all are right in their own style. All of them are right, and we need to respect both of them. Just because, I have legacy of multinational doesn't mean I disrespect an Indian company. No, all of us we will do. The only thing on quality I would say from OPPI, we initiated about the quality aspect, and the government appreciated us and had asked us to stress it again and again on the quality factor for manufacturing of drugs.
Right.
So it was spearheaded by Dr. Sajit Singh Lamba, who was the ESI managing director.
Okay, sir. Let me take this last question for the day. How we can change the mind of doctors to prescribing good products of good company? Now doctors are shifting to local brands day by day. So where is the answer, sir?
This is where if you change our marketing
brands day by day, all of us sitting in the panel and all of us in the audience, we know why that is happening. We all know about it. And that is exactly, although Venu was talking about transactional thing in terms of sharing clinical data and all, but right from the times of late Dr. Tarun Gupta, we know, and Professor Chitto Mitra, who already termed this as transactional marketing, for which local brands are doing well. There's nothing. So the best thing is, as Melon also kept on talking right from the morning in his session also, why are we here in pharmaceutical industry? Whether I am from a global multinational or whether I am from an Indian company, there is a science behind a product. Why can't we go and talk science to the doctor? What happens is, the doctor sees n number of patients and everybody is coming with pain and agony and telling doctor, I have this, I have that. It's only the sad face that the doctor sees throughout the day. Can we not go and discuss with the doctor on an adult-to-adult basis and start talking about the disease area, start asking about therapy gaps, start discussing about latest clinical trials which are there, and ensure that the doctor is also updated as such, like the doctor interview which came. The doctor wanted to be updated through the representative. So can we not do this? The second thing is also, can we start having more of MSLs into our system rather than increasing our sales force? Can we have small group meetings in hospitals and everywhere where the MSL goes and talks? So it is within the ethical boundaries of compliance, because it's discussing about what is there in pipeline, what is there in research. It is talking about all the side effects, everything, effect, side effect, everything. So the MSL is allowed because he or she is a qualified medical doctor, can discuss lot many things with the medical profession rather than a sales representative, because it does not come within the purview of ethics and compliance. I think these are certain ways that by which large companies can invest on, and I don't see any reason why the doctor will not. Like if the doctor is said, I would like to prefer prescribing drugs of companies which support patient programs. The Boston report, if it is talking about it, or the Deloitte report, which is talking about it. So let's do that and see. After all, the doctor is also a human being. So we need to really get into that psychology of the doctor. We need to get into more of science into it. And I'm sure that we will win.
So on Sunday they have to attend to all this.
Can I say
Milan. Yeah.
Ashok, what he said? You know, I think
it's a very massive program.
Please keep yourself on mute. Please.
सिंगापुर से बोल रहा था, बांग्लादेश के थे.
Please keep yourself on mute. Satish, please mute.
Yeah, sir, please go ahead.
Yeah, so what I would say to further to what Ashok says, that look, there is a Harvard statistic that 65% of the human beings want to be ethical. They want to follow the ethic. They want to go home peacefully, have their day satisfaction. 20% of the people are intelligent. You need to get their buy-in to explain that. 15 to 20% of the people are unethical or can cheat. Okay. Now, country to country, the statistic figure may vary. Assuming you have not 15% of the doctors asking favors, maybe 30% of the doctors are asking favors. No company in India has 70% market share for any product. So if you are encountering unethical doctor, escalate to your medical guy, to medical person, if you cannot handle him through medical engagement, or escalate to your area manager. Area manager would, but don't follow in the track of wrong practice. Once you follow the wrong practice, then there is no end to it. You will continue, and one time you do good thing in a wrong way to the doctor, he will tell to another friend that this rep will help you, don't worry. And you don't help that doctor, you are in trouble. So my sincere advice to you, don't fall into the wrong trap. This is like changing a society. If you have to change the society, you cannot change every company. India has 3,600 pharma company working. And there are the companies who are operating in the pockets. They want to do the business in a really short run, make money and then disappear. They don't want to have the image. They want to work for a long time. So I would say that if you want to make a career in pharma, one day, if you have heard, most of us have started our life as a rep and come up. Sunil said same. I started the life as a rep. Vijayendra said the same. If you guys want to come up in the life, do an ethical way. Okay, stick to the path of ethics and hard work. It will work. But study continuously, know your product, and continuously learn. It will help you. But don't follow the shortcuts.
Perfectly said, sir. So let us thank you all the speakers, and we are really grateful to you for being there for this marathon session that happened today. Thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you, Mr. Melon. Thank you, Sunil sir. Thank you, Mr. Edmund, and thank you to the speakers who are not here because it's night for Jill and few exigencies. But thank you all.